Back to the Hard Truth Distilling Company studios. And now joining us, as always, Coach Shannon Griffith from Hoosier Tailgate, too. Don't forget to follow him there. How's your Friday going?
It's going deliciously well. Got a little bit of croissants in me this morning as my wife picked up some last night. She was thinking about me being on today, so she wanted me to be prepared.
That's very, very, very kind.
That's right.
To do. Yeah, this is the slowest time of the football year, of course. Everything is just kind of completed, but nothing ever stops. There's the portal was ongoing, and for teams that were playing in the postseason, that makes it twice as difficult because you're trying to prepare for what you have in front of you. But recruiting never ends, and that's a time-consuming issue. And there's just all kinds of things that now you got to plan for the next year. You got to start implementing. Well, all right, who's where? What are we doing? This, that, and the other thing. What do we have to improve on? What did we not do well last year? What? There's just so many things. So it's a nonstop revolution.
Yeah, there's a process to it all. And the biggest thing is, like I've always said about football, we're like trained rats because we just kind of move in through the year. But right now, the biggest thing for Indiana's football program is their winter workouts that, the coaches will have very limited contact with the kids at this point in time. This is where your strength staff comes in to be the vital part of a program, and most hires when a new coach is brought in, his first hire is the strength and conditioning coach, because that's one of the most important positions that you have to fill. And because those guys are with your team in some respects more than your coaching staff is. So they're going through their winter workouts right now, getting themselves prepared for everything from a pro day to the start of spring practice. I have not seen any dates as of yet for spring ball, but that in my mindset will probably be sometime starting in March. But yeah, this is a vital, important part of any process or program's success is right now going on in the weight room with the strength staff.
Yeah, and so the you mentioned that. I was wondering, I was talking the other day about when the spring game might be, and now that first of all, the fact that I was even talking about that was crazy.
Yeah.
But I'm wondering, are they going to kind of ramp up the spring game now? That's never been a thing in Indiana because football has never been a thing at Indiana. But I think that's something they could start to work on to change as well.
Yeah, I think they will make sure the dates this year are good, solid dates. Remember last year, I think there was some misunderstanding and some things got left off the calendar that shouldn't have. And so it kind of made things a little awkward with spring practice. So after being through it for 1 year and Coach Sig knows what, is coming for the spring, I think they will do a great job. Not only that, but coordinating with the marketing and ticket sales office to make sure that they're doing things that are promoting people to get season tickets. I just got something in an email yesterday about, people buying and donating money for dedicated seats in the stadium. So they're already starting to turn the wheels as it pertains to what will happen for spring practice and what can they do to center it around, Little Five and things of that nature. So they have a booming atmosphere come spring practice and spring game, I should say. Think you're on mute.
Yes, I was.
I
think that is
you
something something that will add to the experience as they grow this thing, because expansion is coming.
Oh yeah. I think the big thing with the Memorial Stadium is um what they need to do there to make the environment even better, if that's adding a deck, if it's adding more seats, or however that looks into the future. I know a lot of people have their fingers crossed that something will be done about the press box, and I do think that's something that they were going to address sooner than later, just from a media standpoint. With all the attention they got this year, I think they realized that it's time to talk about that more forward thinking than maybe they have in the past. So yeah, there's a lot of things that we as the outside world are not aware that is going on behind closed doors. Everything from the profit sharing deal, the collective bargaining stuff, things of that magnitude, as well as institutionally. And I think everything will be geared towards what will all play out in the spring game, as well as how that transitions into uh, the summer and the fall.
Yeah, and it's something that Indiana fans are not accustomed to getting jacked up for spring football, but it is definitely something that they will be looking forward to this time around. What are your expectations for the spring for this team?
Well, it's kind of like it was last year. You're going to have some guys that are stepping in positions now that they have been maybe a backup in for the last few years. There's going to be competition for jobs, for opportunities to play, and you're going to see it on both sides of the ball. I think the offensive line, again, will be a paramount position, as it always is, to see who are their top 5 guys at those positions, as well as their depth there, because I still think that is always a concern for Indiana, is their depth and making sure the drop off isn't a step or two below where it needs to be. And I don't think it will be, because I think they do have a good offensive line core coming back this year. But the other thing I think you look at is the quarterback position. What type of competition is there? You got, Fernando and Alberto, his brother, in the quarterback room, as well as Grant Wilson, who's also coming in. So you're going to have a 3 quarterback competitive room. Remember, Tyler Cherry is not going to be a part of spring practice with this knee injury. And from everything that I'm hearing, it's also going to bleed into next fall, which isn't good for him because he loses all these reps. So I do think you'll see a lively competition at the quarterback position. I think that's what they need. They're going to replace a huge component of this past year with Curtis Rourke and what he brought to the table. And then you're going to see a wide receiver group that I think is just plug and play. I mean, I still think they're going to have a great group there as at running back. And then defensively, I'm anxious to see how this group comes together, because I think they've added some key components to this defense, especially in the secondary, that I think it's going to pay big dividends to what they've brought in.
No doubt, man. No doubt. All right. I think our schedule's all jacked up and goofy today because we're moving it around for different guests, but may end up having Griff back on again. But we've got to go ahead and take a break and get up to Bob Kravitz, who's on deck,
Absolutely.
man. Shannon is he's the best utility man in the business, and I cannot tell you how much we appreciate you, brother.
All right, partner. Let me know. I'll be in the bullpen.
You're great, but appreciate you. Hey, we've got more